All right, truth seekers and music lovers, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about real news media insanity. Doing it in real time for a few real people who are watching my political commentaries, which, again, I'm doing right up until Election Day and maybe even after that. We'll see what happens. As some of you, I'm sure, already know, they took shots at Donald Trump again and they missed again. And I know there are some probably in the rock music world that were hoping that they would hit their target. I want to play you a clip from Lester Holt. Lester Holt. He's supposedly America's newsman. So let's listen to Lester Holt explain what's going on here and why they are taking shots at Donald Trump.
Comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
Okay, all right. So I think you understand what that just was. So Trump is shot at, and NBC News says it's Trump's fault or Vance's fault for talking about Haitian immigrants who are being bussed into Springfield, Ohio, or maybe, I don't know, they're put on a train, they're put on a bus, they're flown in. I don't know how they get there, but they get there. And I watched as somebody gave a testimony at a town hall. You can find that video probably over on X. NBC News could find the video too, where this African-American gentleman is saying, you know, they're chopping off the heads of ducks and so forth and using cats for food. Is this America anymore? We don't have journalism. This is like a defensive posture to protect Kamala Harris, but Donald Trump's being shot at. So we're going to protect Kamala Harris. We're going to protect the reputation of the news media because we haven't verified this from the town manager. We called the town manager and they couldn't verify this because what? They didn't see it themselves and they don't have video footage of it happening. But you've got neighbors, you got people in Springfield, Ohio reporting this. All right, let's just say that this is correct, that this rhetoric on the campaign trail is incorrect. This so-called rhetoric and Trump's team, J.D. Vance, making baseless accusations. Say that was true. Say it was true. Is that a reason to shoot Donald Trump? Is that a good enough reason to shoot Trump? Because Haitians are being whatevered. I was going to say misgendered, but that's not it. They were misimmigrated. I mean, this is just bizarre. So I can pretty much tell you what's going on here. So Democrats and media types and never Trump Republicans have been saying for a very long time that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. His existence, and by the way, we live in a constitutional republic. We don't live in a democracy the way other countries do democracy. We don't do mob rules, okay? So just to clarify, in case people forgot, we live in a constitutional republic. Next, his supporters, meaning Trump's supporters, could do violence. We could do violence if things don't turn out the way we want them to because of J6. Okay, well, here's the deal about J6. That was 4 years ago. My guess is every Trump supporter learned their lesson. Don't be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And the few who did all of that, the protesting and the hardcore stuff, I think most of them are in jail, right? Pretty much all of them are in jail, and some of them are in jail for a very long time. Whereas all the people that did all the Antifa stuff a few months prior to that, they were either not brought to jail, or if they got to jail, they were bailed out, and Kamala Harris raised money to bail them out, the ones in Minnesota. So Lester Holt, oh, it's increasing rhetoric, and this is insanity. If you're sitting there watching Lester Holt, let's get another shot of old Lester, shall we? Lester Holt, media darling. He's America's newsman. You could trust him. Yeah, he came down to my neck of the woods where he never comes down because of the hurricane. So he wanted to make sure that he got to cover the hurricane here in Florida. I'm talking about Hurricane Ian. Um, and they did a bunch of promos with him for our local NBC affiliate, which is the most trusted. So check this out. So the headline isn't Trump gets shot at. It's new threats in Springfield, Ohio. New threats. So again, please listen to my premise here. Listen to what I'm trying to say. Is it okay? Is this okay to say, hey, you could see why somebody would take a shot at Trump because, J.D. Vance says that illegal Haitian immigrants are eating cats or eating ducks or whatever they're eating. They do this stuff in their country. There's a whole voodoo religion that gets practiced in Haiti. This isn't, folks, this is bizarre that they're going to this length to vilify Trump, who just got shot at. He's been almost killed twice now. And this is what you get. And Trump and his crew, they're supposed to go around saying, I'm so sorry for my rhetoric. I am so sorry. Trump supporters aren't running around trying to shoot Kamala Harris. They're not. I haven't seen it. Has Kamala been shot at yet? No, of course not. So anyway, let me stop the share here because I have notes and you saw the notes briefly here. So his supporters, meaning Trump, are doing violence or could do violence. It's not happening. But the stuff about Antifa and the more radical elements of the college protests, the ones chasing down Jewish students, and look, you can feel strongly that maybe Israel is a problem or whatever. I know some people do. Again, that doesn't give anybody the right to chase someone down because they're Jewish. That's ridiculous. The other rhetoric that they like to say a lot on these so-called news channels is that Trump is about to become a dictator. He'll become dictator on day one. He's not going to be dictator on day one. Here's basically what he was talking about. So on the first day, what do presidents do? And I don't like it, by the way. I'm not a fan of this, is that they do executive orders all over the place. They should be passing legislation, but they do executive orders, like on the border. Trump did good stuff. Biden did horrible stuff. And that's why Trump told Kamala the other night, hey, if you want to fix this, you don't need a bill. Just go down to Washington, go to Pennsylvania Avenue and tell your boss to sign some paperwork and the Border Patrol will start doing their job because their hands won't be tied anymore. Because that's what Trump did. So this whole, he's going to be a dictator on day one. He said, I think I'll be a dictator for a day, meaning that he's going to go and do all the executive orders, as Biden did, as Obama did, as Bush did, as Clinton did. I mean, it's out of hand. I don't like this. I don't like executive orders. That's not how our country is supposed to work. But here we are. So he's not going to be a dictator. So that's false. Fact check, false. All right. Trump will enact martial law. He's going to, I've heard this, that he's going to enact martial law and he's going to make everyone's life miserable because he's Donald Trump and he hates humanity. And, he's going to do so much damage to the Constitution. He's already been president, folks. He's already been president. All I remember is low interest rates, low gas prices, low food prices, and relatively low unemployment. That's what I remember up until COVID. And this is why a lot of people have some serious issues with COVID being more of a conspiracy and not so much a pandemic. All right, but we'll just move on. Call it the thing demic. I kind of messed up there. So, and Trump will have his followers destroy the Capitol again. Yes, now that I'm president, or if he loses, if Trump loses, all of his followers, like I said, they're going to go back to the Capitol and they're going to create havoc and destroy the Capitol because that would be smart, right? No, sorry that's not as threatening as people taking shots at Donald Trump. So who's to benefit here by Lester Holt? Well, let me give you a short list here. Military contractors, right? Drug makers, warmongers, drug cartels, abortion rights fanatics, people who hate God, Biden and or Harris, and the entire deep state. Okay? And deep state, that's the permanent class in Washington that goes from one administration to the other. And if they don't like the new incoming administration, according to Chuck Schumer, they have like 6 ways to Sunday to make your life miserable. And that's what they did with Donald Trump. And I think they're really worried, though, that Trump isn't going to bring in a bunch of neocons or whatever like he did last time. Like he might actually bring in qualified people who haven't, haven't been government insiders for the past 50 years. You know, people who aren't in the swamp. He might bring those people in and, oh no, we don't have a say anymore. We are now being ruled by the people rather than by this cabal of unelected bureaucrats who have government tenure. So look, folks, the Lester Holt, if the thing didn't offend you, if this didn't offend you, I'm going to have to play it again just one more time because it's so offensive. It is so ridiculous. And there's more to this report, but just him deflecting and saying, hey, it's the rhetoric. The rhetoric, it's the ramped up.
An assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself.
Okay, so it almost makes it sound like, too, that the assassination attempt is basically because Donald Trump, his rhetoric is so off the charts that he's instigating more assassination attempts against his life. Like the media didn't have a say in this at all. Like the media hasn't been stoking this for 9 freaking years. Man, this is just boiling my potatoes, folks. In other news, Dave has a meltdown on the air and decides not to do political commentary anymore. Lester Holt, you know, NBC, they used to host The Apprentice. Imagine if Trump still was doing that show and Lester Holt was a contestant and Trump just looked in the camera after seeing what a horrible job Lester Holt did with the news and said, Lester, you're fired.